Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "When Allah takes something away from a believer and he remains patient, Allah will compensate him with something better." Have you ever found yourself struggling with feelings for someone, wondering why Allah hasn't removed them from your heart? In today's video, we'll explore 6 important reasons why Allah might allow these feelings to persist. We'll reflect on His wisdom, mercy, and the deeper lessons He teaches us through every trial. Whether it's a test of patience, growth in reliance on Him, or an opportunity to strengthen your faith, remember, Allah's plan is always for our best. Number 1, a test of patience and faith. Sometimes, despite our prayers and efforts, the feelings we have for someone remain unchanged. According to the teachings of the Holy Quran, this can be seen as a test from Allah, one that challenges our patience and faith. Allah is Al-Hakim, the most wise, and Al-Alim, the all-knowing, meaning He allows certain experiences in our lives for reasons beyond our immediate understanding. When feelings for someone persist, even when circumstances do not align in our favor, it can be a way for Allah to test our reliance on Him. Do we turn to Him in sincere dua, trusting His plan, or do we become consumed by our emotions and lose focus on our deen? This test pushes us to reflect on our priorities and our level of submission to Allah's will. Patience is a key virtue in Islam. The Quran repeatedly emphasizes that Allah is with those who are patient. Indeed, Allah is with the patient. Quran 2:153. By enduring emotional struggles with patience, we purify our hearts and strengthen our relationship with Allah. Sometimes, Allah does not remove our feelings immediately because He wants us to learn something, whether it's detachment from worldly desires, self-discipline, or deeper trust in Him. In the end, trusting Allah's wisdom means understanding that every test has a purpose, and patience will always lead to rewards beyond what we can imagine. Number 2, a reminder to redirect love towards Allah. According to the Holy Quran, our hearts are constantly tested, especially when we develop deep feelings for someone who may not be destined for us. If Allah does not remove our attachment to a person despite our efforts, it can be a powerful reminder to redirect that love toward Him. Allah is Al-Wadud, the most loving, and He created love as a means of drawing us closer to Him. When we struggle to detach from someone, it may be because our heart has placed them above Allah in ways we do not realize. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught, "Indeed, in the body there is a piece of flesh. If it is sound, the whole body is sound, and if it is corrupt, the whole body is corrupt. Indeed, it is the heart." A heart that clings too much to creation may need to be purified and refocused on the Creator. Often we ask Allah to remove our feelings, yet they persist. This can be a sign that Allah is inviting us to examine our attachment. Are we seeking fulfillment from a person rather than from Allah? The Quran reminds us, "Indeed, with the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest." Quran 13:28. When we redirect our longing toward Allah through dua, dhikr, and devotion, our hearts gradually heal and we find contentment. Allah's wisdom is beyond our understanding. The delay in emotional detachment is not cruelty but a lesson. It teaches patience, surrender, and trust in His plan. By shifting our love toward Allah, we experience the truest form of love, one that is eternal, fulfilling, and never lost. Number 3, a lesson for personal growth and healing. In life, we may find ourselves deeply attached to someone, hoping that our feelings for them will fade if they are not meant for us. However, when Allah does not immediately remove these emotions, it is not a punishment, but rather a lesson in patience, self-reflection, and reliance on Him. The Holy Quran teaches us that everything happens with the wisdom of Allah. He says in the Quran, "But perhaps you hate a thing, and it is good for you, and perhaps you love a thing, and it is bad for you. And Allah knows, while you know not." Quran 2:216. This verse reminds us that our emotions, even painful ones, serve a divine purpose. If we continue to have strong feelings for someone, it may be an opportunity to examine our own hearts, whether we are placing too much dependence on a creation rather than the Creator. The Prophet Muhammad advised, "Tie your camel and trust in Allah." This teaches us that while we make efforts to move on, we must also trust that Allah will heal us in His perfect timing. Instead of fighting our emotions, we should use this time to strengthen our relationship with Allah through prayer, seeking contentment in His decree. Furthermore, enduring unfulfilled love can build resilience and empathy, making us more compassionate toward others. Allah refines our hearts through trials, making us stronger believers. Ultimately, our love should be directed foremost to Allah, as He is the one who truly completes and fulfills us. By embracing these emotions as a lesson rather than a burden, we can find peace in knowing that Allah's plan is always better than our desires. Number 4, a sign that you haven't fully healed yet. In times of hardship, we must remember that everything that happens in our lives is by the will of Allah. If you continue to have strong feelings for someone despite making dua for those emotions to fade, it may be a sign that you have not fully healed yet. This does not mean Allah is ignoring your prayers. Rather, it indicates that there is still growth, reflection, and healing needed within you. Sometimes, lingering feelings serve as a reminder to turn back to Allah, to seek healing through Him rather than rushing the process of moving on. Holding on to feelings for someone could mean there are still unresolved attachments, emotional wounds, or lessons that need to be learned. Perhaps you have not fully accepted Allah's decree, or there are aspects of your own self-worth, reliance on Him, tawakkul, or understanding of love that need strengthening. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, taught us that the heart finds true peace in the remembrance of Allah. Verily, in the remembrance of Allah do hearts find rest. Surah Ar-Ra'd 13:28. If your heart still clings to someone, take it as a sign to seek deeper healing through istighfar, seeking forgiveness, dua, patience, sabr, and gratitude for Allah's plan. True healing comes when you trust that what is written for you will never miss you, and what is not meant for you will never be yours. Number 5, strengthen your ability to love the right person in the future. If Allah has not removed your feelings for someone despite your prayers and efforts, it may be a sign that He is teaching you valuable lessons to strengthen your ability to love the right person in the future. Through this experience, Allah is molding you into a person who can appreciate and nurture a future love that aligns with His guidance. When Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, experienced loss and emotional trials, he remained steadfast, using his experiences to strengthen his connection with Allah and deepen his capacity for love. Similarly, your current emotions may be a way to prepare you for the person Allah has written for you. By enduring heartache and unfulfilled longing, you develop a deeper understanding of love based on sacrifice, wisdom, and reliance on Allah's plan. Instead of seeing unanswered prayers as rejection, view them as preparation. Allah may be teaching you to recognize genuine love, the kind that is built on taqwa, God consciousness, and mutual commitment. This test refines your character so that when the right person comes, you will love them in a way that pleases Allah and brings you lasting peace. Number 6, to teach you the reality of dunya, this world. If Allah does not remove your feelings for someone despite your prayers, it may be a means of teaching you the reality of this dunya world. The dunya is temporary, filled with trials, and a place of attachment that tests our hearts. Allah reminds us in the Quran, "Know that the life of this world is only play and amusement, pomp and mutual boasting among you, and rivalry in respect of wealth and children." Quran 57:20. Love and attachment to people are among the tests of this world. When we long for someone who is not meant for us, it may be a lesson that no worldly connection can truly satisfy the soul. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, said, "Be in this world as though you were a stranger or a traveler." If your feelings persist despite asking Allah for relief, it may be a sign to reflect on where your heart lies. Are you placing your happiness in a creation rather than the Creator? Allah wants to redirect our love toward Him, teaching us that true contentment comes from dependence on Him alone. Additionally, this trial may be a purification for you. Holding on to feelings for someone who is not destined for you humbles the soul, teaches patience, and strengthens tawakkul, reliance on Allah. It reminds us that dunya is fleeting and that ultimate fulfillment is only in the akhirah, hereafter. By enduring this trial with patience and seeking closeness to Allah, you can transform your pain into a means of spiritual growth. The heart must learn that nothing in this world is truly ours, except our relationship with Allah. If you enjoyed this video, you'll love what's next. Click the playlist on your screen to dive into more great content. May Allah bless you.